Hey, I'm Carolina, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make the ultimate perfect fudgy brownies with a crinkly top. You're going to absolutely love this recipe. I'm going to, of course, leave it in the description box below, as well as the link to the blog where I found it. I've made this a couple of times and it's already become my go-to brownie recipe. It's really good, and it basically has like two things that make these brownies over the top. The first is that you're going to beat your eggs and your sugar for exactly 10 minutes. So a stand mixer is gonna come really handy for this recipe. But if you don't have one, it's okay. You could either do it by hand or with like a hand mixer. Just be sure to be patient and actually like beat it for those 10 minutes. It's definitely going to be worth it. The second thing that makes these brownies really good is that after 20 minutes of baking, you take them out of the oven and then you kind of like grab the pan and bang it against a counter. And this really helps to set those wrinkles in, because then you put it back in the oven and continue baking. I really loved those two techniques in this recipe. That's kind of why I decided to try them out in the first place. Absolutely fell in love, and now I'm here sharing it with you guys. I hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started going over the ingredients. For this recipe, you're going to be needing white and brown sugar, flour, salt, espresso, butter. You're also going to need both chocolate and cocoa powder, as well as eggs and vanilla, and all the exact measurements are in the description box below. Start by chopping up your chocolate bar or breaking it into pieces like I did, and add in only 2 tablespoons of the entire cocoa powder that is called for in this recipe. Then go ahead and set that aside while you grab a saucepan to melt some butter. And once the butter is melted, you're going to pour that into your chocolate mixture and just give it a mix and let it cool while we do the rest. So you're also going to need to use some butter to grease the pan that you're going to be using. This recipe is for an 8x8 square inch pan. Now in the bowl of your stand mixer, or just whatever bowl if you're not going to be using a stand mixer, mix your sugars, salt, the vanilla extract, and your eggs. If you are going to be using a stand mixer, be sure to put on the whisk attachment. And now you're gonna beat this for 10 minutes. And I'm very serious when I say 10 minutes. Put a timer and actually beat it for 10 minutes. Your mixture is going to be super frothy, as you can see here, and it's just going to give a lot of volume to this mix since we aren't using any baking powder or baking soda. Now, while the mixer is still on after those 10 minutes have passed, pour in your melted butter and chocolate mixture and just go ahead and whisk that for a bit longer. After this part is ready, go ahead and add in both the flour and cocoa powder. And for this, I just like to fold it in very gently using a spatula so that we don't take out any of the volume that we've added into our mixture. Now our batter is done and we can pour it into our greased baking pans. You're going to take this into the oven and bake it for 20 minutes at first. So like set a timer for 20 minutes. And once those 20 minutes are up, you're going to take your baking pan out of the oven and bang it on the counter a couple of times. And this is that trick that I talked about before that's going to really help you create crinkles in your brownies. So after you've banged it on the counter, put it back into the oven until it's done baking, and this will be around 10 minutes, but you basically just have to keep watching and insert a toothpick
or I didn't have a toothpick, so I used this, but just to make sure that no crumbs come out. And it basically means that your brownies are done. Remember, you want fudgy brownies, so be sure to not over bake this.
Alright, so I've got my brownies here out of the oven and completely cooled. I actually let these cool overnight and I did not dig into them, which took a lot of willpower. But I'm going to cut them and sprinkle some flaky sea salt, which is just like the perfect touch to brownies. Just like chocolate chip cookies, I love sprinkling them with sea salt. Of course, it's optional. Fudgy brownies as much as I do. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Check out the recipe in the description and subscribe if you would like to see more recipe videos. See you next time.